Okay.
The button has been pushed. Thursday. Roll it. Yeah.
I have not seen that name in a long time.
I know. I'm kind of delighted because we've met before. I thought this was going to be a stranger. I thought there was going to be a stranger here today.
I forgot about that.
It was a crazy night. Hello, Mrs. Ryan.
Hello.
Hello, everybody else. Welcome back. Here we go. Bring it in here. There we are. Welcome back, everybody. Today is Thursday, May 23rd, 2019. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and this is It's Tonight's show. Tonight, our guest is a fella named TODD Turner. Thought it was going to be a stranger. You may have heard me saying. Somebody Mrs. Ryan used to work with, a colleague over the years and a very good friend. Doing all sorts of exciting new things. Turns out we have met, so we've been reminiscing. And he's going to be in here in a few minutes to tell us all about it, a lot of production stuff. And I think we'll get a peek into Mrs. Ryan's old life, which is always nice for me. And I think for the rest of us. So
That's nice to hear.
no, I'm serious. You know what I mean? People see you and they know what you used to do. But every time we get somebody here who used to do it with you at the same time.
I was thinking about that. He was part of another ecosystem of that business that, like, I never talk about. I never get to talk about. So this is exciting.
There you go. There you go. In the meantime, Mrs. Ryan, I've got a whole bunch of East Coast feeds. We could feed it up, and obviously it's Thursday, so as we do every Thursday, may as well open up the old TBT, and we'll just roll it, Hal. It's going to sound like a joke for you. You're probably going to laugh, but it's not. It's real. Roll it, Hal.
I'm here with Bob. We're going for a ride.
Wow, 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 wow.
The music is funny.
I know. Yeah,
It's fun to see all the cars, though. That one scene of like just car after car after car. That's pretty rad.
I agree. A couple of people we hadn't seen there in a while. Mr. James Gambit's car. Good shot.
Green
of that
one with the white.
Good shot of that green monster.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in a while. Hope he's well. Hope to see you soon, Mr. Gambit. James.
You and your sweater.
Bob. We took Bob for a ride. Haven't
I
seen
know.
Bob in a while. Hope you're well, Bob. He's in the middle of. I know he's having one motor rebuilt on one. I think he sold one car. I don't know what's going on, but he's always in the middle of stuff. Hi, Bob. And then Tiffany, too. Little Miss Tiffany. You noticed the dented Boxster there. That happened that day on the way. She spun it around.
Oh, I
Right
forgot
into the
that
rocks.
part.
And, of course, Mr. Derek Whitaker. Our good old buddy Derek.
Good to see everyone.
I know. It's going to be fun. I hope some of those people are there tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. So that's TBT. I can't remember what that was. I think it said Black Friday last year.
Yeah, something
November.
like that.
Not too far ago. Not too long ago, rather. I don't know. There's like so many East Coast feeds that I'm almost full. So maybe we'll just do a couple and see how we go. And
That's good.
We'll bail out when we're done. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's totally
All right,
fair.
because I think they're still in. Let's check in. This is actually from the Breakfast Club day, I believe. So roll it out.
East Coast feed coming from Angeles Crest. As Brooke laughs hysterically because she can't see because I have a hat on. But down below, as you can see a couple of the Porsches just driving down the crest. You know, we just pulled over a random spot. It's kind of a nice little view. It's a little overcast, but whatever. You know, we're in California in May. Brooke, you want to say anything about that?
I can't see.
She can't see. Love you guys.
Bye.
I think that was pre-engagement.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because it was, yep, you're totally right. All right, let's see where they are now. Roll it out.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, look, there goes the Porsche. That's our Porsche contribution for our, where are we, babe? Malibu? She doesn't even know. We're at Malibu. She wanted In-N-Out Burger because we're in fucking California. So there was a Porsche. I thought of you guys. You guys are probably a Lufka cult enjoying life. We happen to be driving around the mountains. That's what we're doing. So love you guys. Hope you're having fun. See you tomorrow. I don't, ish. Whatever.
Pre-engagement, number 2.
All right, let's see where they are now. Roll it, Hal.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, Brooke, and the Kaz Band coming to you live from, what is this called? Topanga Canyon Boulevard. We're driving somewhere in Malibu trying to get back to the Pacific Coast Highway, just, you know, leisurely drive for no reason. Baby, I'll talk to Jay and Nicole. They're right here. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
There they go. So, yeah, we just random drives. It's California. Why not? We're here. West Coast feed.
We've been driving since 6 a.m. just because.
Because why not? We have no plans. You know, you guys are Lufka culting it or whatever. And we're just mountains and shit in it.
And then
Nature and shit. We found a brewery. 'Cause that's what we do. Anyway, love you guys. Random love. West Coast feed. Boom.
Oh my goodness.
All right, well, I mean, may as well keep it going at this point. I'm kind of having a good time.
Me too. I love watching the chronology because I know when she got engaged, so I can see her mood.
Roll it out.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, we're here in our touristy LA hats because, you know, it's our last real day here. And this is post-engagement from the ring kid.
Ah!
Yeah, that happened. Actually on, I think, the show. So we're hanging out with Smiling Jesus, who was actually at Harvell's last night. We're going to turn the camera in a second. You'll understand. I'm totally doing it. I don't give a shit. Anyway, we're on the 3rd Street Promenade. There he is. There he is. Yep, there we go. So there's also, we mentioned a dinosaur. Coraline, my daughter, is huge into dinosaurs. There's a Triceratops here. The Stegosaurus back there. That's it. That's our random East Coast feed on a Monday. Post-engagement. Yeah, wipe your face. She's like, this is to wipe my face. It's so weird. Anyway, love you guys.
That was pretty good.
Yep.
So they're also, that was 3rd Street Promenade, and he probably doesn't even realize, but that's right, almost right where they were, is where Pee-wee's bike got stolen in
That's
the
where?
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
He does
Yeah.
love that place, so that's
He
hilarious.
loves the promenade?
Oh, he loves it. Talked about it when they were here.
Oh,
Like,
my
so
goodness.
excited about it.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, well, I mean, may as well, right?
Yeah.
All right, roll it
Finish
out.
it out.
See where they are, roll it out.
It's West Coast feeding, first of all, not East Coast feeding when we're in California. We got our matching LA hats, you know, part 2, Santa Monica's. We just went to Rusty's. Really good. Waitress's name is Rash. She kicked ass, took names, good positive energy. She wasn't LA, she was super positive energy and good stuff. It was a good name though, why not? And then shout out to that guy. I don't know who that guy is, we're gonna go with it. Renegade, there he is. That's the guy we want. Just in case you need to know. We are king and queen. I'm from Queens. She's the king. Love you guys.
Oh, I love it.
Full day.
All right. Well, I think that's the last one from California, so we'll call it there. If all right, we'll check
Yeah.
it next week when they're back on East Coast
I
time.
hope y'all had a great trip.
Yeah, me too. Mrs. Ryan, that's all the stuff I had to get
That's it?
through. So it's time to ask the question that's on everyone's mind.
Dun, 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 dun. What's going on?
What's going on, Mrs. Ryan? Dun, 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 dun.
There's a petition out there to name the recently discovered black hole after Chris Cornell.
Wow, because of Black Hole Sun?
Because of Black Hole Sun, and he was a singer for them, and Audio Slave, and right, or that's the song.
Soundgarden, I think. wasn't it?
Soundgarden and Audio Slave, he was a singer for, and Black Hole Sun was the song. So people are like all up in arms, like this has to be named Chris Cornell.
It's so ridiculous.
It is, but I love the enthusiasm.
I do too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
And why not? Really? I mean, you name it after something that's always ends up being arbitrary after a couple
instead
years
of
anyway.
black hole number 46,000, blah blah blah, it'll be Chris Cornell.
Why not? I like it.
Anyone who has had a pet escape, there's good news. There's hope. We used to only have 2 species of parrots in the States, and now we have about 56 spotted in 43 states, and most of it is from birds that have escaped or have been let out.
What's the good news for people who have had escaped pets?
That
how
they're
we
not
started.
necessarily dead. I know people worry about escaped
Holy
pets.
crap.
but-
Good news, your pet's not necessarily dead.
It makes new birds if it's a bird and it flew out the window. Like, whatever. It's super neat for that ecosystem. I like it. And lastly,
We have a neighbor whose bird flew away, and I mean, she had the bird for a number of years. It was a parrot, I think, or some kind of parakeet. I don't know what the heck it was. But I mean, are we saying this is good news?
people worry about stuff a lot, and it puts negative energy on a situation that you can't change
Gotcha.
necessarily. And this isn't a positive way to look at what might have happened.
There's farms everywhere, folks. Farms everywhere for
Totally.
those pets to go live on.
Tons of farms. Lastly, Uber is now offering its services on a submarine in Australia.
Oh my gosh.
So to our friends down there, because I know there's a couple, Queensland, Australia is where this is happening. You can get on your app and like say, I want to take a submarine to the Great Barrier Reef, whatever.
Really?
Yes. And
I mean, I believe that it's available, but you really do it through the Uber app and the whole bit? Oh my
and they
God.
call to verify because they have to like check ahead for like how much you weigh and like whatever to go on a submarine, I guess. So it's a little more involved than just like here's an Uber and the black car shows up.
Sure.
But
Of course.
what I really love about, I mean, it's like how often you get to do that, so go for it. It's only going to be a month, I guess, it's limited, but they're
Oh, it's a publicity thing. It's not.
Yes, yeah, it sounds.
At least
like
it's
it.
starting that way. Starting that way.
Yeah. And what I love about this, though, is that they're using it as a way to match fares with donations to go to the reef.
Okay.
To like make it to give money back for like anything that it's been ruined by or like.
Oh, Uber is doing this. They're matching whatever.
Yes.
I see. Well, that's nice. Then it is a charitable thing as well. Then that's very
It
nice.
sounds like a super neat charitable thing. So if you're in Australia, you guys, and take a video and send it to us.
Take an Uber to the Great Barrier.
Yo, man, someone will do it, and I want to see. So take a video.
Oh, and that's Finn. What's going on? Dun, 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 dun. Woo.
How it goes?
Just take a moment to relish in that. You feel good?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a good news, everybody? I think it was a good news today.
Yeah. Way better.
Mrs. Ryan's
Thanks.
working on it, trying to put more of Mrs. Ryan into the news instead of news, because nobody really uses this as a
No one
news
cares.
source.
It's fine. I don't need to be smart here. It's totally fine because I'm not. I'm just like, let me pontificate.
But people just want you, and that's what you're giving them now when it's not like about the thing and making sure I get it all right.
I get to have more fun now.
Yeah, and we
great.
get to have more fun with you.
Thanks.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
Now, don't have to save that to the end. All right, Mrs. Ryan, let us take a quick break and get our guest and your friend, and apparently my friend too, Todd Turner in here. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Turner will be in that chair when we return right after this. More to come. back with Todd Turner. Hi, Todd Turner.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
It's a big relief to know that I know you already.
Right? We were just reminiscing for those in the green room about how Jay and I met, and we're wanting to be best
drinking
friends.
days. Yep.
Yeah, wanting to be best friends afterwards, and then
And this is the next
we
time
both
we've seen
get
each
selfish.
other.
Seriously.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago we figured out.
Man, it was pretty long ago.
I do remember that I don't remember anything what it was, but I remember that we had a bunch of stuff in common,
Yep.
a lot of common interests.
Yep.
And here we are. So let's put it back together.
Definitely. Let's catch up.
Your life has changed a lot since. We don't need to talk about
Yeah.
the details. Our life has changed tremendously since, and some of which you know about through doing this. How do you feel as a person today sitting here?
From 3 years ago when you're like, life is really screwed and you're, just trying to get through it.
Yeah.
And being here now and what's happened in life and where I'm at with two of my best friends in a new business, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I mean, it really is. And to see Nicole and Jay, and catch up with you, Jay. I mean, when you guys reached out, of course, like instantly, hello, I want to see Nicole, first of all.
Did you know about his new company at the time when you reached out?
Not the details. I just knew there was new stuff happening soon, but not what it was.
Oh,
it's
that's cool.
incredible.
Yeah. It was definitely a transition.
All right. Well, you guys used to work together. We can say that. Can we say in what capacity, even if not the company?
Yeah, no, we can definitely talk about the other company.
I just don't
and stuff,
want to.
but yeah.
I don't know what you're.
I was on the press junket, broadcast marketing aspect of studios, and Nicole was a personal publicist who was feared and revered.
This
in
is the
Hollywood,
stuff everyone needs
which
to know.
I do.
They
I'm
think
like,
she's so nice,
right? I mean, look at this. Her laugh was contagious, as it is. Like, I'm sitting in the green room listening to you guys talk about in the whole intro, and I'm so jealous. Like, you guys have a great relationship, and to hear how happy you guys sound, and I know with your struggles, with what you're going through, and everything else, like, it's kind of like, I hope I can find that unicorn in life.
Wow.
So.
Oh my God!
nice.
You make me want to cry. Yeah.
Oh, please. I'll stop that then. I'm sensitive too, bud. I will cry at a movie and people make fun of me.
Maybe that's what we bonded over. I can't remember what the hell it was.
You
Can't
guys are out
remember what it
crying.
was. It's so funny.
Oh man.
For the record, I will just say that you were present for the best worst day of my life.
Ooh.
In Hawaii.
Ah.
So,
on Sarah Marshall?
yeah, I started to say before, you're part of it. You were part of I think you still are, but like part of an ecosystem that like I was tangentially involved in,
Correct.
and always such a happy, always such a relief to see you there versus like just regular junket
Like
crew.
you knew it would be okay because you had a buddy.
I
kind of
knew.
thing?
It's similar to how I feel like when you're at somewhere, like I don't have to think about everything for once.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that it was always like, where some rooms at junkets
You
like
just
that,
have a support system. You know,
American
you got
Sweethearts
somebody's
or
got
what-
your back.
Yes, and you didn't always have that. So
Yeah.
it was so nice to always see you, and then to find out that you were the one picked to go to Hawaii, it was like, oh, it was amazing, and it made it okay.
That job, I mean, it goes down. There are memorable jobs, but that one specifically, I remember very well because that's where I met my second old wife. I say old wife. I have two friends that instead of saying ex-wife, you say old wives. No, not to knock her age or anything. But I met my future old wife, and it was.
So it was good for a bit.
It was good for a really long bit. It was good, and at the same time,
You guys weren't there for the shooting of the movie. This is after the movie was
the
done.
junket.
this
of
is
the
for the
movie.
junket. Yeah,
But it's unusual for them to go back to
Right.
a location
now,
like Hawaii.
We had gone to, it was at Turtle Bay, and we had gone while
they
they were
shot the movie.
shooting, to do some behind the scenes type stuff. But this was now the junket, so they're bringing it back, and we were staying in the same villas that that talent were sitting in, and
the
shooting
bungalows outside,
Yeah.
just where they
Yep,
shot,
yep.
yeah.
And can I tell this story?
Yeah.
The last one, okay. And the last night,
think.
the last night we at the Wrap, basically, it was one of those jobs where you're on location and the crew, everything kind of comes together. So you have like the crew, the cast, you have the studio executives, And
Wow, it's not usual that they would all be in the
No.
same place
No,
at the
it
same
was
time.
a
Not at
super
all.
small, limited
Yeah.
That's very
junket, so
unusual.
we all bonded
Yeah.
with people that you bond with, because not everyone was part of that. It was a weird.
Correct. And Universal has that
Yeah.
also reputation of they are in the moment of work, they're intense. Like we got to get this done.
Work hard, play hard.
But exactly when that time, ends, they like to have a good time, as you should, just to relieve everything. And
I've had the same experience even from the network executive or the
Yeah.
executives that I've worked with
Right.
from Universal. I
It's-
don't know, maybe it's company wide. Is that what you're saying?
maybe. I mean, it's
It's definitely top down
yeah.
over there.
I'm
and
partial
they love
because
it.
they're my alma mater. I've I started my career there in '96. And I've known people that as they've come up. But this night, we were sitting on the lanai out at on one of these villas, and it was my crew and I, and then some of the cast. I will keep the names. Were they were staying in different bungalows, and then I hear this laugh coming down, the green pathway, and I'm like, that's Nicole. And I think you were repping the writer, or was it Ethan or Evan
No.
at the time? Who were you?
I was there with Jason
You
and
were?
Russell and Jonah and Bill. It was
Holy
we had everyone in that movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So
Like,
let's run that down
literally-
for everybody else. It was Jason Schwartzman, Jonah Hill.
Jason Segel,
Jason
sorry,
Segel.
Jason Segel, Jonah Hill. What's his name right there?
Russell Brand,
Russell Brand,
Brand, yeah.
and and Bill Hader.
and Bill Hader. And
Good
then
grief.
the girls were all, Mila Kunis and Kristen Bell were there with different reps. Some of
Yeah.
them didn't have reps. It was like we all kind of took care of everyone.
Yeah.
But talk about, I mean, that's a
Dude.
talent pool there.
Oh my God.
And Judd, right?
Oh,
He
and
was
Judd.
there?
Judd wasn't there. Judd was there for I think a day, but he wasn't a part of this night. It was like
Right.
basically like last night. Some had already gone home, and yeah, it was just a night of sitting on this lanai and sharing stories.
So you hear the
and
laugh, and then
Hear the laugh,
here she
and I'm
comes.
like,
here comes the train.
Oh my God, here comes Nicole. And I remember it was some Universal reps, and another we're like, should we yell out? I'm like, we're over here. And of course, I'm the one that does that because I'm Mr. Sociable. It's like the more people that are sitting with us, it's like we're gonna have conversation.
And if anybody's ever seen the movie, we're talking about where he's the paths he's walking along in the movie. You got the beach on one side and these bungalow villas on the other side.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I
And-
stayed in the one near where he ducks down in like heights.
Right.
So it was
What are you
so
doing?
surreal.
Bill Hader's on the phone the whole time.
Oh
Stop
my
following.
God, I'm going walking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one.
You're not following them, are you?
No.
No.
Oh my God! And that movie goes down, and it really goes down. It's one of the funniest movies out there.
Somebody
it's
who
not
didn't
really
want
a
to see it,
rom-
didn't want to like it. It's one of the
Right.
funniest movies, period.
I mean, it's
and it hits all the marks
that's
for
when,
me.
I feel like that's when Apatow was like he was kind of branching out on this thing from Superbad and letting the guy, letting his cast and everybody come up with these ideas, and he would be involved or he'd executive produce or
Right.
whatever.
But that
And
one specifically
that
was
one
Jason's story.
Yes.
So like I feel like that movie's so good because he took the time
It's
to
a
do
very
the work.
real story. It's his.
did the
and He
work.
went to where we stayed for the junket. He'd gone there to write it. Like he's in that all the way.
But I feel like that's one of the reasons it transcends.
Yeah, and we don't have to name names, but like the Cardellini's in production work. That's
Oh,
like
so you did name a name.
Yeah, no, Cardellini. They had the Cardellini grips. I mean, if you ask any grip or any lighting guy what a Cardellini is, they'll
That's
tell you.
the
It's like
name?
it's the name of a thing.
Do people know what you're talking about? Do people
no,
are people
they-
making the?
They can if you're in the industry, you know what a Cardellini is.
But
And
you're bringing that up for a reason. Do other people know what that reason is?
they can Google.
Oh, it's probably on Google.
It was public at the time, but
Oh,
it
I
was
see,
not a
okay.
selling point of the film.
No,
Correct.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
it's just not in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
that was
it was one of those for memory's sake, and I look back on that with fond memories of hard work, but that last night hanging out, and we were, there
I'm
was
assuming
some,
just drinking and cigarettes at Turtle Bay, right? Just
Drinking,
stories and everybody
cigarettes.
just.
The
Some
director
weed.
was there, Nick Stoller. So like there was a
Yeah.
lot of community of like other kinds of stories, and like
plus
I
the
checked
jo-
out.
And the job is done, so
And
everyone's
just-
cutting
yeah.
loose a little bit.
And that's why I said it's like I'm the type of person like the more people the merrier. So you have like 4 or 5 different conversations going around, and you're kind of sitting there on the lanai going, "This is what a job should be about.
That's what it's about.
know?
All the
And
different
community.
kinds
Yeah.
of people that
Yeah.
came together. It was
Camaraderie.
super neat.
You're all working super tight together. There's this thing in Hollywood where you know talent doesn't mix with cast, executives don't mix, da da da. But it was that anomaly of here we all are together. We just got done with a great job, and we're celebrating. And
That
Nicole
wasn't an
was a part of
anomaly.
that.
That's
It
awesome.
was. I know. I can't. Like there's been other moments, but nothing. Like for some reason, and maybe it was because I met Lindsay that night. It just really stuck out, and you were a big part of that. And yeah. So.
Thanks.
That's awesome. I love to see you guys reminisce, quite frankly. I mean, I wasn't there for that, but
It's,
so cool.
It was in Hawaii, and were you on the helicopter we took?
Yeah.
That was my first time
Yeah.
ever in a helicopter. So everything that we did, I was like, oh, I did this, and it was all you were there for most of it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I
it-
love
Like a
Hawaii.
sightseeing tour, right? Around Oahu.
And
That's
I'll be
cool.
honest with you, like Nicole's reputation, she was extremely good at what she could do in her job.
Mm-hmm.
She was very pro-client, which that position needs to be. And so you hear things of like, oh, she's tough. She is tough. And yeah, I saw her tough at work. But guess what? That's what, that's our responsibilities. That's what a publicist, like some of the most respectful publicists that I respect are like the Melissa Cates, the Jennifer Allens, like those ones
Tough.
that really
The
tough,
ones that do have a
but
reputation.
sweet. Like there is not a jaded type of, thing to them. And I started, 1996, it was Melissa Cates, Alyssa Grayson, and Amanda Scholler were all junior publicists
That's
at Universal. And so now
Wow.
to see them where they're at now is, it's great.
At least
It's
some of those people were at the dinner where we met.
Yes, yeah, they were. Actually, that's right. They were.
So funny.
They
Small
were.
world.
Yeah.
Amanda was there. She's married now and has a
Yeah,
kid.
Amanda's married. Anna has a little girl who's beautiful.
Yeah, so cute.
And her husband Jesse and them, they're so in love. It's like everybody's in love but me. It's like
Oh, hang on. Now that's
Bro,
coming. You're married to your work right now. So
I-
you left one firm where you were for a long time?
yes, I was almost 19 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I started there
Very cool.
in 2001 and literally grinded my teeth in that company and learned a lot, good and bad. And I owe
very
them.
honest, very
yeah,
honest.
no, I owe them for this kind of new venture going into the new company, Glass Engine.
Good for you.
Um,
Can we talk
yeah.
about Glass Engine?
Yeah, let's
we're,
do it.
We're
Let's
both
do
pretty
it.
excited about it for you,
Yeah.
and then also in the hopes that someday we'll do something together.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear about. When you sent me that release, I was expecting like me and my buddy, like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it was like so good. I wrote you back right away. Like this is
know,
crazy.
I
I had no
know.
idea.
And
Thank
the timing
you.
of it all too.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Tell me everything.
All right, so 19 years at this company. This industry is about relationships, and it's networking, as you know, and in relationships and stuff. And sometimes those relationships in Hollywood are very superficial and. When you see each other, you're like, oh, hey, it's so good to see you. La, la, la. And you're like, it's that typical where somebody's looking over your shoulder at the next person coming in. But during that tenure, you get to know, because you're working with these people over and over and over again. And friendships do happen. And one of my friends is Julie Brantley, who was the queen of press junkets and events and everything at Universal. She was there. She got there shortly there after I left, so we worked together and everything, and we just kind of clicked. I'm OCD. I am so I am like a germaphobe and everything. And I still remember this one time we were sitting. We went on a scout, and I was eating French fries or burger or something, and she literally reaches over and grabs a French fry, like grabs a French fry to eat. And I sit there and I kind of push my plate away. And she goes, what the what?
This is not a big deal to other people who don't suffer from the same affliction. Yes.
Right. They're like, can I share this with you? No, I ordered this for myself. If you wanted it, you should have ordered it for yourself.
And or we have a discussion ahead of time. But you don't just do the reach over.
But she was a client, she's a client. I'm working for her. So I'm like, oh my
How do I
God,
handle this?
How do I handle this? And
Internal conflict versus.
I stopped eating, and she made so much fun of me, and it became this thing, and we bonded, and we just had this click where we would work together on these big jobs, whether it be a destination one like the one in Hawaii for Forgetting Sarah Marshall, or we did couples retreat in Bora Bora, which was
That's
oh my
very
God,
nice as well.
amazing.
Another great fun
Yeah,
cast.
and working like we worked together on every Fast and Furious, like which is
What?
unbelievable. So
You opened the Fast and the Furiouses?
the very first one was my first. Yeah,
You're kidding.
Every single one I either did the press junket on or I did EPK.
The first one was a big deal because
Yeah.
it got everyone to watch a car movie.
Correct, and it became this whole sub culture of car racers and car enthusiasts.
Exactly.
That was the built-in audience for that. And so when that movie came out, all of a sudden it was car enthusiasts, and it's kind of ventured away from that into this popcorn stuff. But anyways,
Well, they're rock movies now. What do you
yeah,
expect? It is
yeah.
what it is.
I know. And R.A.P. Paul, that was I still remember Lindsay getting that call the night that he died, and it's with one person that had a heart of gold in this industry. It was him by all means.
I'm so glad you say that, because I thought I've only met him like superficially over the years, but like I've heard great stories about it.
Think about it. There's not one negative story or a rumor or anything that comes out that he was just a genuine.
In fact, it's the opposite. The good stuff keeps coming out. And people still come in, well, here's a story you haven't heard.
Yeah, and that was tragic, very tragic. And so Julie and I just kind of met with there. And then my other partner, who I consider like my brother, is a guy by the name of Johnny North. And he was...
Porn name, man,
I know,
for
man.
sure. Isn't it?
His dad is John
Johnny
North.
North,
He's
yeah.
Johnny North. He
Good for
was a New York-based cinematographer, director, DP, but he did lighting for Junket Productions on a freelance basis. And he was, and he'll hate me for saying this, he was your epitome of a hipster. He's from Brooklyn. He was from Greenpoint, Williamsburg.
Oh, gosh.
Bands.
Before it was cool?
Yeah,
gotcha.
exactly. Before rent went up and all that.
Yep.
And so we would travel together on these PA tours, which you go from city to city to city with
PA
one
means
town.
personal appearance.
Yes,
For
thank
people
you.
that don't know.
Yep,
know,
personal
it's
appearance,
good.
and they usually do 6 cities to 12 cities. It just depends on how much the talent want to go on the road. So we were
And the budget.
hired
Let's be clear.
at the budget. But there were some movies I'm like, all right.
Some like super bad.
Yeah.
You build on the budget because the awareness is so good in the cities that you go to. So it
Totally.
builds. It's very fluid.
It's a personal.
She knows how to get more money out of the
Right?
fucking studio. Man, gee whiz. Builds as it goes.
It's also like it's a personal time for that market or that city to have like a talent, like Will Ferrell or we did Ice Cube a few times, and for him to come in
great
and do
thing for-
morning shows.
yeah, the mornings.
Yeah, and then they do the local press, a couple interviews, and then you travel and you jump to the next city. So Johnny and I did these for a while, him being on the East Coast, me being on the West Coast, and what we bonded over and became really good friends was I, at that time, in the beginning of my career as junket, was very religious. I was very into the church and everything. And Johnny is a self-admitted atheist. And
Self-admitted?
Self-admitted. Because
Not
I have this whole
proclaimed,
thing. I
admitted.
have this whole thing. You can't be an atheist because there are still answers.
Yeah,
That have
agnostic
not been
is
answered.
really the only answer, yeah.
So I keep hitting your microphone.
Well,
I'm
move
sorry.
it. No,
I
move
talk
it
with
wherever
my hands.
Yeah, but that's the
You're
point.
allowed.
You
All
can
right.
put it wherever
All
you
right.
want, so it's not in your way.
So we would
Well, I
get
mean,
in
it's gotta
these.
be near you.
Exactly.
Your
Make your
production.
mark. There you go.
We would get in these long discussions about religion and heated discussions, where we just would get to a stalemate and agree to disagree. And
Which is the healthy
correct, which
end game.
Which in my
don't have to.
world, it was always no. This is the truth. This is the right. This is the only way. And da 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 da.
She learned that way as well. Apparently.
Really?
Don't you think?
What?
Did it come from there as well, or no?
It's an academic sensibility that I definitely share with people that are very into something. And it takes growing up and whatever, and getting the perspective of like looking at things from different sides.
Perspective.
Yeah.
That's huge.
No, but that's also smart. It's intelligent. It's healthy. And when you have this group of people that are literally in this bubble saying there's only one way to ever turn, eternal life or whatever, and they're not willing to open their minds to other things. To
Well, that's where the
science.
zealots come in.
Correct.
Zealousy.
Correct. Which, if we just basically got down to it and would follow Jesus Christ as a person and what he taught,
Yeah, the teachings.
yeah, we would have an earth full of peace. Honestly,
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
and the same
it's-
goes for almost every
yeah,
other religion.
yeah,
If you zoom out
Muhammad-
far
yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Everything's got
exactly.
the same principles.
Correct.
It's
Don't be a
correct.
dick.
golden
Right.
rule when you're in kindergarten. If you want to be, treat others how you wish to be treated.
The golden rule. Yeah, and so I would always have those discussions with people that I was kin to through the church and everything, and it would create these huge arguments, and walls would be built and everything. But with Johnny, it was like, okay, and then we go back to friendship, and it blew me away because
That's a real partnership.
it's
Those are real friends,
exactly,
yeah.
and so we just became closer from that. So throughout our career, we were close, and Julie basically came down to it was she lives in Seattle, and this is how much Universal loves her. I mean, she had gone to them a few years back and said, I want to get out of the industry. I want to have a child and, a kid and everything. And so I want to move to Oregon, Washington, where she's originally from. And they're like, we don't want to lose you. So would you still stay on if you work from home
Consulting
and
or something.
then come down? No. Like,
Oh, just keep your
employee.
job.
Yeah.
Just work from. Holy
So every
shit.
time you called 818-777, blah, 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 it would ring
You
her
got
office in
redirected to Seattle?
Yeah.
Good for
And
her.
she was able to pull it off, and she was able to balance that motherhood. She has a beautiful son named Luke, and she's doing it. And as Luke gets older now, I think he's almost 2. Julie, don't kill me. It was like a lot of her time was spent traveling, and so she once again was like, I don't know if I can keep
Same
doing
conversation,
this.
yeah.
And people she was having a conversation with were like, why don't you go into business with Todd and from Junket Productions? And I remember her coming to me, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I have a great salary. I have great benefits. I have great.
Why would I saturate what I've got here?
Like,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, I'm comfortable. And we were doing those custom content days, and it was like it was fun, but at the same time, I was like, and so I jokingly had said something like, if you can get an agreement from them, I might be interested. And 2 weeks later, she comes
From
back, she's
Universal.
like, yeah, I got an agreement.
Go, Julie.
And I know.
That's
she
awesome.
is Superwoman. Like, she's amazing. I love her so much. She's like a sister. She's family. And so then she comes, she's like, well, I got the agreement. And I go, oh.
Uh-oh.
Shit, I never thought you'd deliver on that.
And I said, there was one other thing that I can't mention, but I go, what about this? Can we add this to it? And I go, that's the only I'm going to do it. Johnny comes in, and we're like, let's get Johnny in this. And he said, yeah, I agree. If that can happen on top of what you just got, then
Done deal.
done
No
deal.
brainer, yeah.
And we're both like we're about to leave the company. Like, Johnny was a freelancer, independent contractor, depended on junket work. I was comfortably living, with me and my dog. And she comes back and she says, I got it. And it was like, whoa, the reality set in. That was the beginning of April. And
This year. A month and a half ago.
Kudos.
month and a half ago, it was
I mean, you must be swimming.
Jay. It was the call of giving my 2 weeks to a company that I worked for so long. I think was the most nerve-wracking in my life.
Bet.
Besides the birth of my 2 kids, but
Well, you've thrown away
it was-
something perfectly good,
It's like going through a divorce, actually, in a way. The way it looks at it, the way you either enter that conversation hoping for the best, and it could go one of 2 ways. And so it still kind of feels like a divorce in a way, because you spent so much of time of your life with these people, and they were
Yeah.
a part of your family. You saw these people more than your family. And
And it's not bad blood while you're leaving.
no,
It's genuine
no,
opportunity
not,
and
no, not
time,
at all.
time for
And-
another chapter.
And Junket Productions, I mean, by all means, they are the brand in Hollywood, and they work
They
with
do what
every
they do, and
studio.
they do it well. And
Yeah,
period.
yeah. I mean,
So-
But they're the central casting.
they're
of
the
junkets,
basically
right? I mean,
central
they're
cast.
the one.
Yeah, they're the ones that get it done. And what we're doing is in no way want to pull that away from them. We're just making things better. And
But you're doing something different, too,
We're doing
at the
custom
same time,
content. Yeah,
you know?
there's
It's
a bit more
not the
production
same-
heavy. Part of the agreement we found out after the fact was that we have to do Universal's junkets that are part of it.
Irony!
And,
Irony!
oh my God.
Wake up to the irony!
Dude, Johnny and I looked at each other and we were going, okay.
If you could just remove that one thing.
right? And you know what? Listen, at the end of the day, Daddy needs to eat. You know, so
Yep, you betcha.
it's it comes through. But it's also great to work with a crew that has literally made sacrifices to make you succeed. Our lighting director, Brian Fisher, is a board operator on The Voice, one of the top board operators.
No way.
Yeah, and just knows his lighting and
Stage 12 at Universal.
right, and exactly.
Just happens to be.
He took a break from the
Just saw it the other
season, and I just found this out last week. He took a break, stepped away from it to help us
Wow.
succeed.
Love
and
that.
I mean, like I talk about me being sensitive. I got all teary-eyed.
Yeah, I
I
would
was
too.
like,
I would
like
too.
that's to hear that there
It's a
are
sacrifice.
people. Exactly. Our lead engineer video guy, Tim Cronin, I mean, has been busting his ass for us. And to have that team underneath you and working with you and wanting you to succeed, it makes all the...
But this is coming full circle. This is how she used to feel about you going to work.
Yeah. No doubt.
There's a support system in place where, oh my gosh, people have my back.
Correct. And that's key. And one of our philosophies going into Glass Engine was that we would treat crew with the respect and pay that they deserve. Because without them, I'm not sitting here. I'm not, getting more work. I'm not being able to show off or give a quality product to the studio or a client. They are the engine. They are what makes our company work. So happy crew, happy life.
Where does
Happy life, happy life.
That doesn't
Glass
rhyme.
Engine come from? Where is that?
Glass Engine. Everybody asks that. They're like, "Oh, it's such a fucking great name, Glass Engine."
Well, I need to know what it means first, because right now I'm in the middle. I'm a car guy, so I'm like,
Okay.
fragile engine, not so great.
So this is purely. So Johnny, one of our partners, my
New York
brother,
guy, right?
Johnny, New York guy.
Yep.
We were playing around with ideas, and one of them was like Big Red Dog Productions, because Al, my dog, is you see on our Instagram feed, plays a big part. He's a typical set dog, just one of those.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, man.
What kind is he?
He's
Just
a
big and brown as
Staffy
far as I know.
Lab and Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Oh, my
mix.
goodness.
So he's
So it's not a small
beautiful.
dog either.
No, and he is a teddy bear. Like, he meets more women and more than I do, and then it steals it away from. Anyways, but he's usually by my side, and I didn't bring him today because I had a therapy appointment this morning. Which now I'm like, this is my
I was
second
going to say,
therapy.
double
Like,
decker today.
yeah.
Double hitter.
So one of them was Big Red Dog Productions, and then some other silly ideas. And one of the ideas came up was Glass Engines. And the reason Glass Engines was important, Glass, the movie Glass, was one of our most successful custom content shoots, where
So there's a personal
everything
meaning.
came together. It looked great. The crew went home happy. The client loved it. Talent was great.
This is one of
And-
those things, just for everyone else, this doesn't happen in our business. Production is one of those things where it looks great. The finished product looks fantastic. Getting it is generally hell in some way or another, and it's generally one of those facets that you just mentioned.
Correct.
They all don't normally go well.
No. And that did. And the engines part of it was from this movie Mortal Engines, which I know.
No, there's no judgment. We're just trying to take it all in.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I'm not going to judge on the time movies, but as a job, we learned a lot of valuable lessons, let's just say on that. So it was a weak point of custom
I
contents in a
know,
way.
in your name. That's awesome.
Correct. So you put them together. Glass engine reminds us of what we can do and what we want to stay away from.
Bravo.
And the engines, plural, we were kind of like, let's make it a little bit more solid. So we dropped the S, and it's like, oh, who's working with you this weekend? Glass engine. You know,
It sounds
it's
solid,
just like,
rugged.
ugh.
Solid.
And when it also comes down to it, a camera is basically a glass engine because all the glass inside of a camera,
All the
and
lenses,
engine,
the lens work.
Yep. It has. That
Oh, I'll
meaning
give you that
too.
because when the film's running through it,
Right.
it's just like,
Yeah.
look at that.
And that was something after the fact that Johnny started thinking about. Johnny's very intelligent.
Sounds it.
I bet Johnny will only tell the second part of that story.
No, he'll take credit for both.
Okay. This just must be something that people do when they go out on their own because when we started our company, it was in the middle of like a life reboot, so we called it Regroup.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
You know what,
remember
dude?
that?
It is. Yeah, it's
Because that's what it
resonates.
was for us at the time.
Yeah, it's like coming together and realizing what's important in life. What is, what is. I remember sitting down and writing out pros and cons of leaving a company that I worked for 18 years. And
I still pucker up every time you say it because you
Yeah.
pause a little bit and I get the just
It's-
a little
it's
bit of
heavy.
like
yeah, and it was, man. It really.
it's skydiving really. It's like this plane's perfectly good.
I'm
It's gonna
about
land
to
on its own.
start out, you
I'm
know.
just gonna jump out here.
I could have been completely comfortable, retired, great retirement package, and
But
it
no,
just-
you want to be fulfilled and stimulated.
Turned 45 April 19th, and I've just felt like now was the time to make that leap. And I have 2 kids. My daughter is 18. She's graduating from high school this year, going off to college. My son will be 16. My son will be 16, and he's got 2 more years of high school. So the financial with them is getting less, and then so like I can step back and really evaluate. Just rearranging life in general. I feel like 45 is the new 35. My body doesn't agree with that. The mind.
You're right about
well,
that.
actually, the mind still thinks I'm 25,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess it would be. No, my body is definitely 45.
We figured it out. My mind is 22 right now, but the body is probably about 61.
yeah, man. It's like reaching for a shirt out of the closet and you pull a
Oopsie-daisy.
muscle.
Yeah, you sneeze in the shower and you can't walk for 3 days. I mean, there's all sorts of things that happen.
Nick told me a joke that he's like, Jay Leno told this joke and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's really long. And I had the audacity to get a shirt out of my closet. I'm like, that's how he hurt his neck.
Who?
Nick Hunsinger.
Oh, that's hysterical.
It happens
it's
to
exactly
everyone
just
around the
anything.
same time.
Oh my god.
Hilarious.
So funny.
So it was that time. It was that
Good for
where I
you.
could do it.
It's really
And,
just all the things aligned,
kinda
and
came-
it's really right.
Dude, it was April 19th was my last day. Full moon. The numerology was out of like I don't really follow that shit, but it's like people would come up and like, oh my god, this is the day of change.
When something's in
And I'm
alignment,
like,
everyone tells you, yeah.
okay, let's do this.
But I almost find like when shit's in alignment and all those people are telling you all those things, isn't that part of it? Isn't that part of proving that they're right in the weirdest way?
Correct. And it does.
Even though it's
I'm a skeptic. I consider myself
Religious
big
and a
time-
skeptic.
No, not
Skeptic.
religious. I consider myself an agnostic.
Now
big
you're
time.
agnostic.
No,
Formally
yeah. Now
religious.
I formally left the church, the Evangelical Free Church.
Formally left the church. Not formally. Formally.
Formally. Formally. FORMALL.
Wrote a letter and said, I'm out of here.
I said I'm out of here. Consider me. Kick me out.
You can take your God and you can stuff it in a sack.
But I'm still agnostic in that way, and so I'm the biggest thing that I think I learned through this whole thing is always that old adage of question authority. You should question everything.
Look at everything.
Look at everything.
Yeah.
Well, and question it, because if you don't ask that question, what's going to make you then go and find out if it's really true? And so a lot of that is people telling you like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, but you need ultimately to find out what you want to do. And so I'm at this point where I can't say that there's no higher being,
Right?
And there's too many unanswered questions.
But to me,
So-
to me, you've graduated.
Yeah.
Because you're still saying, oh, yeah, I totally believe that and something out there is possible.
Yeah.
really almost anything maybe out there is possible.
Yeah.
But not to say, nope, ain't nothing, ain't no thing. Like, that's just as bad as the zealots in the other direction.
That's exactly it. Has been an argument of mine is when someone comes up to me and like my partner Johnny being an atheist, like you can't 100% say that there is no higher being. Like you can't. You get to a certain point in science, but there are so many things that are not. You don't have answers to.
Right.
You're basically like a fundamentalist on the opposite side of the spectrum.
I was just opposite side of the spectrum is perfect because it's just the Republicans and the Democrats. It's
Yeah.
somewhere in the. By the way, anyone on the plane is sane.
Yeah.
If you're out on the wings, you're an asshole.
Oh, dude, it really is. And what they've done. Here, I'm going to start going down the religious thing because this has been.
Well, we don't ever talk this stuff, so we just like inclusion and the fact that people can think different things and have these conversations is the most important thing for me.
I mean, I think if we want to talk about real times right now with the whole the abortion thing that's going on right now, and the whole thing about white men taking away a women's right to choose and all that, and it's funny that there is this group of pro-lifers. They call themselves pro-lifers. And they're involved in the evangelical church, and they're like pro-life. It's the baby. It starts at conception, and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
But these are also, and they'll stand out there with pickets and everything else.
Oh, sure. Make you feel really bad about yourself.
Are
if you're
the first people
out there.
that, when they can't get pregnant, do in vitro. And if you think about in vitro, first of all, it's a science.
Mm-hmm.
It's a doctor taking a seed, putting it into the plant, and then, like you're freezing.
There's no doubt about it.
You're
yeah.
freezing it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when you go get them implanted,
There's no doubt about it. It's not natural.
right? But the doctor, if you believe that life begins at conception, the doctor usually puts 3 to 4 eggs into.
Oh,
a
I see
woman.
where you're going. Look at you.
So,
Boy, you really.
no, and it's because I've
You're
had
gonna blow the whole thing open, aren't you?
and so you are going into that process. The probability, the higher percentage that not all of those eggs are gonna make it, and you might get 1, you might get 2, but you're going in with the knowledge that if you believe life begins at procreation, you're murdering that person, that little baby. And they will justify it. And that's the one big thing of how I believe organized religion has ruined,
So they'll go
race.
back on themselves for that one topic, and like that's fine.
They won't bring it up.
Oh,
If you try to bring it up, it's a personal issue. And listen, when you're using in vitro and you're going through those things, it's for a reason. You really want to get pregnant. And so to like
there's a lot of
confront
emotional
somebody,
stuff
there's
going on.
100%. And by all means, take advantage of where science has, if you want to have children, and take advantage of that and do what you want. But if you're going to preach this side of life beginning at conception and knowing going into this opportunity to have a child that 1 to 2 to 3 or whatever couldn't make it, you're going in with the murder aspect of your thing. It's right. I mean, but that's what it is. It's justification on a whole new level, and that is something that really was one of the crux of me leaving
No
that
kidding.
church. Yeah, was just being, taking what supposedly is something you're supposed to study and read and everything, and making your own. I mean, if you think about Christianity in this, they're the biggest
Christianity-ness? Is that what you said?
Christianity-ness.
Okay.
That they have the most factions, and when I say factions, I mean like your Methodists, your Lutherans, your Evangelical
A lot of
Free
teams.
Baptists. Yeah, it's the only religion out there that has that many different breakouts.
Christianity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Catholicism, you have your Oxford, your
Yeah,
Orthodox.
that's not the same.
and
They
not.
are all the same, though. They're really under an umbrella.
Correct. And Mormonism, Judaism, all of that, you have your different, conservative and more liberal, but it is literally the only organized religion that has one thing that they center believe in, but then they have interpretations, and that's, what it goes on. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. It's
No,
just
I feel
something.
like we needed to get that out.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like we needed to
it's-
get that out. I feel like you're
it's
going to feel better
something-
now.
Yeah, it's something that I still deal with it with friends and everything,
Well, it's very current right now, and
Oh, and
that
that's-
pains me because I thought that this was dealt with a long time ago.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's sort of
Yes.
the racial relations. It was kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, but we took care of that. And like, we
Yeah.
didn't take care of shit. It's worse than ever. And I am an idiot for thinking that we did. That's how I feel. I feel like, oh man, I had the rug pulled over my eyes.
Yeah,
Or whatever you pull over your eyes.
It's frustrating because we're going in this backward spiral, and they say history is full circle,
Yeah.
and things will come back. Well, if that's the case, then we're up for a civil war soon.
Right.
And
I mean, we don't like to talk about any of that
no,
stuff, but if anyone
but-
zooms out far enough and you look at
Yeah.
the writing on the walls, or you look at how many times this world has existed, the humans have
Yeah.
existed, whatever.
it's crazy.
Civilizations rise and fall all the time.
Right.
And 200 years or 250 years, however long we've been here, is not that long.
Yeah, no, it's not, and it's sad. I just
They still call it the American experiment. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
us newbies, this new country
Yeah,
over here.
yeah. I mean, when you're standing in a castle in the UK that's 3,000 years old, and it's still standing, and people actually
Right.
live. and
Perspective.
And
Right,
It's
yeah.
not the pyramids.
Yeah.
It's people from this,
Right, even going back
this
further.
collection of people
Yes.
built that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. There was one thing I went on there, like, this is the oldest restaurant in Italy, and it was downstairs. And I was like, what? It was like in a cave. Like, you've seen
Yeah,
places
you'd think
like
it was a
that.
haunted house anywhere else.
Yeah.
Totally. So you never know.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's
That's the perspective I find. That
Peop-
once you zoom out and you
Yeah.
see how old all of this stuff is, then there's a heck of a lot to look at that isn't in your day-to-day phone and
Correct.
bullshit problems and everything
correct,
else.
and you can get deeper and deeper and go into money and everything, capitalism, all that in this country. But
It's all related to the same
it
thing, though, this
is.
experiment.
It is, and at the end of the day.
I mean, the irony was this country was started by a bunch of people who didn't want to pay the taxes anymore. I mean, the irony.
And escaping and
Remember the Boston Tea Party? They don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah, no, they
It's almost like
don't.
banned from books.
They don't. Yeah, yeah.
All these people threw all the tea because they didn't want to pay tax on
Yeah.
it. Like, wait, what? Oh, does that work?
I think it was oh God, Huckleberry Finn.
Paint the
author-
Fence?
Author
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain said the best cure to bigotry and racism and all that is to travel.
Oh, yeah, because you
And-
get to see what other
yeah.
people live.
And
Yeah.
when you don't
for you.
have that, and you're stuck in your community, and that's all you know,
It's the perspective again.
it's understood in a way why you might think that, but at the same time, there's so many other cultures out there that bring it all together, and
Are you an everything is everything kind of guy? Like we are in that once you zoom out far enough, anything is anything, any argument is anything, everything is everything once you zoom out far
yeah,
enough.
I mean,
like, it's an existential problem. Like
Sure.
nothing exists, nothing matters, blah, blah, blah.
Sure. I mean, it's. I think this is the first time in life that I'm not scared of death.
Yeah,
You know.
good for you.
And
What did that for you?
What did it? Believing that how could a loving God have a hell? Like
Is that
how
what it
can
is?
He send? No, it literally was, man. And when you're being raised, it's fire and brimstone.
Right.
It's
Good or bad, black or white?
Yeah, and hell was a scary thing. There was a movie called, oh my God, in the '70s when the Jesus movement was out. It was called Thief in the Night, and it was this
Carol
movie-
O'Connor, I remember that.
You do?
No, no,
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
kidding.
I was about to say, and it was this movie, real low budge, and it was about the coming of Jesus, and people just vanished, kind of like that Justin Thoreau.
Yeah, The Leftovers.
Very
Leftovers.
similar
Love
to
that
that.
show.
Yeah, oh my
That
God,
show's fantastic.
Such a great
and
show.
what that show says
Yes.
at the end of the day is so,
So,
good.
as a
Highly
chi-
recommend The Leftovers.
Yes, this as a child watching this movie scared the shit out of me because all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm going to hell. And
What's it called again? 'Cause
It's
I wanna
called
see it. No, not for that reason, but
Thief in the Night.
That's right.
And it's got this creepy
Not Carol
song
O'Connor.
that is sang by this Christian group. Wish we had all been ready. And
Oh, gosh.
oh, dude,
That's a nightmare.
Oh, it was scary. So I remember waking up one morning, and I was probably 10 or 11, and I go in my bedroom. I go in the kitchen, and there's a pot on the stove boiling water. My mom's nowhere to be found. My dad's gone. I'm thinking he's at work, but my mom's not there. I know my mom's not there.
The water's boiling.
The water's boiling.
Nope.
I call for my sister. Doesn't answer. I
TV's
call for my
still on,
brother.
like
my
the whole
brother's-
thing.
Yes.
Ugh.
And I freak out,
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
got scared, and I'm like, holy shit. I didn't say that as a child, but I was like,
Sure.
oh my gosh.
It's a moment.
And I run outside, and it's like empty, and then for a split second, I'm like, I got left behind. You know?
It's Home Alone. It's Vanilla Sky. It's so many different
But in a
things.
scarier sense. And then all of a sudden I heard my mom's voice at the neighbor next door, and it was like, oh my God, boom, boom, boom.
My
But-
reality is still my
yeah.
reality.
So it's there's and to finally step away and be like, why in common sense, you know, they'll say, well, you know, God is 100% love and 100% just. Well, the math doesn't add up, first of all, and it's something we won't understand. But how can there be a hell when you know, there are good people. They might not follow what you teach or follow what you say is the only way.
I'll have to talk to you about this off the air.
Oh,
'Cause
my
we don't really
God.
talk about this stuff on the air,
Yeah.
but I certainly have feelings and opinions on it.
And I try, like, I go to therapy because of this, because my parents are still very much involved in the church and everything. However, they have opened their minds to other things, and my mom being really sick right now, partakes of the cannabis. And
Oh, you mentioned this before the show,
yeah.
medicinal cannabis.
yeah,
Let's
and
Your
switch.
sister passed away.
my sister passed away 2 years ago from breast cancer, and it was her 5th bout, and
She was using that as a
she
treatment,
was
right?
using that for the pain and the nausea and everything else.
More to
and
take care of some of the symptoms.
Correct,
Yeah, symptom
correct.
relief.
And then started doing some research on a guy named Rick Simpson, who's out of Hawaii, who basically squeezes marijuana into a tar. It's basically how I'm going to say it, because it is.
There's so many things to watch on Vice, the
Yeah,
Vice channel
yeah.
and stuff about this, but he's a guy who basically came up with this method. Now everybody does this
Yes.
method. Now it's almost like a Kleenex
Correct.
or Tylenol. It's
Correct.
just aspirin.
And he claims that there is a certain level that you can get, if you get to in a day, that you can take a gram a day or something like that. It has a healing effect.
Yeah, this is where I don't push because I happen to believe this stuff, but
Yeah.
you can't make that claim.
No.
So it's one of those I don't say that,
Well-
but I do see the difference it makes
Oh,
in people.
100%.
It's hard to say no.
Yeah, no, it's and the only reason my mom got on it was she's watching my sister, and we're watching her die, and we just wanted her to be comfortable, and there's this wish in the back of your mind that maybe this will work, you know, and it didn't, you know, and she passed, but at the same
Fifth bout.
time,
Fifth bout.
fifth
I
bout,
mean, that's-
man, she was
It's
the
coming
pink
for you at that point.
warrior.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
she was an amazing.
did it all
person.
right.
So
Sounds
my
like she
mom,
fought a long time.
Yes. So my mom suffers from corticobasal degeneration, which is you lose motor skills, basically. Frontal lobe shrinks. And she started doing cannabis as well,
Is it the
pills
same thing
and
to oil or
everything.
edibles?
Yeah. And
Your mom's not
being-
ripping fatties, is she?
no, like I come with my vape and I'm
Not
like
yet.
sitting there. And,
Oh, the
yeah.
vape, the pen, I don't mind. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the actual smoking of it is just,
No.
it's almost.
She they have
You don't need
tablet
that. You don't need
forms.
that.
No.
Yeah.
And she's losing her ability to speak, and
sorry.
but when she takes it, and they justify taking it being evangelical free and being churchy and stuff like that, they take it before they go to bed. So
Oh.
it's like
So they're not
yeah,
living with
right,
it.
right, you know. So it's like we're proponents, but we
But if
just
there's a healing benefit,
Yes.
I mean, maybe. See, for me, I don't know. Do you partake in
oh yeah,
cannabis? Okay.
oh yeah.
I personally.
I've gone off prescription drugs because of it. So
We are too. I don't know if it was because of or whatever, but we're in the same way. I find that it's hard to say because I'm not a genealogist, whatever the heck. I'm not. I don't know enough about this stuff. But it seems to me that the product unlocks your mind to heal you. I don't think the stuff does shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's no healing property in that. I believe, other than I believe it unlocks whatever is already in
Sure.
us that allows us to do that. That for whatever reason we either turned it
I-
off or
yeah.
unlearned it or.
I 50%, like maybe 70% agree with you on that. It's just like with any type of herb remedy, you know, Middle Eastern herbs or whatever, they don't work for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
And
Personal.
But why do you
it's-
think that is?
I think, like you just said, our bodies are made up in different ways. For me, I was a Ritalin kid, and you know, I was
And you're
bouncing
off
off
that
the
now?
walls. I'm off Adderall.
Good for you.
Like I do these a sativa in the morning, a couple hits of that, and that allows me to focus.
Yeah.
because I still have that squirrel effect, you know, where I'm just kind of like,
Sure. Maybe in therapy, you're doing very good here on
yeah,
the show.
right. But I'm wired differently. So, like, it's when I would do, when I was on Adderall and Ritalin, I literally would get tired and focused. Well, for some people, it's a speed effect. Yeah. I was hooked on opioids for a while because they gave me energy. I had kidney stones, and all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, this stuff is great.
Right.
And it gave me energy. I didn't have that cloudy effect that people, describe. It just gave me energy. And so I'm wired differently. And in the same way, everybody is wired in different ways.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think the great thing about making cannabis legal, and there's a regulation to it, we can start doing tests as to what it can actually help. Like I said, it's not a guarantee.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not going to help everybody.
And it might not be right for
No,
you. I mean,
no.
some people just may not like what it does to them.
Exactly. Ibuprofen, might just be like,
I mean, I hated it. We were never pot smokers
Yeah,
ever. I was
yeah.
a drinker,
Oh,
if
dude.
anything, and I didn't like it
Yeah.
because if you're a drinker or whatever, it goes against. It's
my God.
pulling from different things up here.
Correct.
And man, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
Like from the experiences I had.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's my understanding that changed versus the product. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah,
why I kind of feel like,
mindset.
very much mindset. I mean, I didn't like it. I told myself it was a problem before. And now I tell myself it's medicine, and it is.
Yeah.
So I believe that I'm doing, I think that everything is a
Yeah.
placebo because everything is everything. That's
Right,
just sort of how I'm at.
Right.
I know I'm a little hippy-dippy with my thoughts, but
Well, like for me, if I'm gonna just jump off that one time, go down rabbit trails. Like for me, I haven't been sick in 5 or 6 years.
nailed it, yep.
And it's because I drink Jack Daniels. That's in my head. You know what I'm
Totally
saying?
hear you.
Like at night, I'll have a couple Jack Daniels, and that cleans out my system.
I hear
You know?
I loved smoking when I had a cold because I was like, that'll kill the mucus in there.
That is
that's
the
horrible.
That's
worst.
the least true thing I've
Horrible.
ever heard in my life.
I'm not saying it's right. I just understand justifying things.
But yeah, that's what it comes down to. It is. It's not for everybody, and as is most prescription medication. But we are a country ran by prescription medication.
We have gone well over the hour, but I don't want to wrap it up on cannabis.
Yeah.
I would love to know how
Yeah.
we can help you in your new
Well,
venture
I
in
mean-
some way, whether it's with this or some other way,
No,
whatever.
it's.
We're very excited for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's
great.
I'm
Great thing.
excited. I'm really excited, and just it's getting us known out there. We have relationships, with different people in Hollywood, and we're open. We're not just a custom content production company, and we're not just this, but I'd love to break out into doing creative content for sports and everything else that comes along with that production based. Our ultimate goal, and one of my dreams as a child, was to be able to make a movie, and which everybody who comes to Hollywood wants to make a movie, but get to that point where we can fund somebody that has,
The right project type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
yeah.
going to be us for sure.
Yeah, and that's one thing. It's like reconnecting with you guys and everything, and then I'm moving back to Los Feliz at the end of summer. So I'm
That'll be nice
closer.
to have you back.
I'm
From
so
us,
glad
it's a
you'll
little
be
far.
closer.
Oh my God!
So nice. The weather's so nice. out
Yeah,
there,
I
though.
mean
It's-
it's beautiful down there. But
Did you say Carlsbad is where you're originally from?
Carl? I was born and raised in Carlsbad.
Yeah,
North
so at least
County.
you're getting more of a similar
Yeah.
climate
It's
down there.
it's a great mix of LA and Carlsbad for sure, but it's a jaunt.
All right, well,
So-
keep in touch.
Thank-
I don't
oh,
want it to be 5
totally.
years again before
I
we
know.
see each other and hang out.
It's not going to happen this time.
I'm super, super excited for you. We both are, and thank you for
thank
coming
you.
To do the show today. We've really gone long because I've just sort of enjoyed the conversation.
Thank
I mean,
you.
there
You
were
know,
no questions.
I'm
there
sorry.
was nothing like
I
that.
start talking, and then it's like people are like, "Shut up, Todd."
No, it was so great to
all right.
see you
Thank
guys
you.
together. I think for everybody, I'm assuming.
Yeah, thank you. I hope
It was
so.
great to catch up.
Yes, definitely.
We're
So
not
come
done.
back again. How about
Yes.
that? Just
Yes.
come back whenever.
Appreciate
and
it.
we're going to talk about business
Appreciate
stuff
it.
off
Oh,
All
good.
right.
Mrs. Ryan.
Yes.
Let's see. Tomorrow. Oh, this
Breakfast
is
Club.
Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow we're at Breakfast Club. Holy cow, boy. Oh, short
week
week because we
flew.
didn't have the guy on Tuesday. That's right.
Correct.
No backlash from talking about that on the show.
I
which
haven't
is
heard from him.
Nice. Very nice. Well, I love you so much. Todd, we love you so much.
You guys don't understand. Like, this is the perfect. Like, there's relationships in this industry are so hard, and sitting in that green room, listening to them talk, and there's a bit of jealousness in there.
Oh, my
You guys
gosh.
are amazing. It's something to be very proud of.
Well, like I said, Todd, we love you so much. We love you at home. Please love one another. Have a wonderful weekend. See you tomorrow at Breakfast Club or, there's all sorts of stuff this weekend. Whatever. There's all sorts of stuff. We'll see you out there.
See you around.
Monday. Till then, Monday.